God bless you. Really, God bless you. Please. That's everyone's only problem is they don't have God's blessing. They haven't. Their actions haven't warranted it yet. Their choices to act haven't warranted God's grace yet. And so I pray that you change your actions so that they do warrant God stepping in. You see, Jesus Christ is our intercessor. He can be if you make that choice. You see, we're in a spiritual competition, okay? There are only so many slots at one time. In each lifetime, in each moment, there are only so many slots to be filled with God. Never anymore. You can find this information in God Speaks by Meher Baba. Sorry, it came up backwards there. Page 256 in this edition. But it goes through the spiritual hierarchy and the numbers of people. And if you study Meher Baba, you realize everything he says is perfectly true. And he doesn't tell us everything, but once you know that truth, then you can begin to build off of it, as I have. So, on that page it says there are 7,000 people on Earth at one time in some form working, on becoming one with God. They're on the path, as Meher Baba calls it, of the truth. And he said only those further along on the path to accessing the truth, those are the only ones that can help anyone else. Because only they know the truth, so how could anyone else help anyone, do you see? And then after you reach a certain spot in the spiritual hierarchy, you do not reincarnate again. You don't come back. So there's a very limited time when certain individuals are available to share the truth. Almost everyone who finally joins with God and becomes God realizes the truth of everything, and your soul merges back to God. You don't keep the body. It's just an experience that's so overwhelming, and so without any desire to be back in the body, that it's, God puts you back in the position in the body to do work for Him, okay? That's, he laughingly in this book, God Speaks, call them perfect masters, but if you look on Meher Baba's tomb, what does it say on the tomb? The words mastery and servitude. So you're a master of servitude. I mean, that's what they call slavery, by the way, servitude. So, you know, you're a perfect slave, master of servitude. Anyway, so you're enslaved to God, and that's the only exit path. There is no other exit path. So your ego has to surrender on that path. You see, like your ego is the thing that got you to this place where you're finally, found the truth out, and you have an individualized consciousness through that ego. That's great. It was necessary to get you here. Don't be like the ego has no value. It got you here. Okay. So, but in the end, you have to see the overwhelming, obvious information that God runs everything here, you see? And once you have that information, then you surrender to that power, and then, the rest of your time here is spent achieving a further step, a further service to God, really, in helping others. You further help others, and then you can go further on the path until you reach the last stop, and then you help others until you drop the body. That's the way it goes. This is a spiritual competition, okay? In other words, in any given time, there's only so many people who God will move forward, in the spiritual hierarchy, which is closer to God. Once you get all the way right to God, you don't have to do it anymore. You see? But until you get there, you're still in the game. Okay, so that's a competition. How? It's not a direct competition with another individual in a way, but the competition is that God has to, see that your actions above others, you know, necessitate your moving forward in the spiritual hierarchy because you're going to serve God better than someone else who isn't doing it as well. And God is the perfect judge of that, of course, because He made everything. So, how easy is that? It's easy for God to see. You're not going to slip Him. You're not going to fool God. You either are going to the death in love and honor of God, or God doesn't know your name. He doesn't know your name. It's not important enough. You're not on the list. You're gonna keep reincarnating into this reincarnation dome over and over and over until you finally step up and be like, yo, I accept the truth. Okay. Um, Simple fact is, it's like this. If God isn't in charge, it doesn't run at all here. If it doesn't, what's the point of life? There is no point. It's pointless. Just random nothing. That's not satisfying at the end of the day for anyone. It just isn't. Just random nothing is happening, and I'm just a piece of the random nothing. If there's no God running this thing, if there's no ultimate truth, if there's no ultimate achievement of God realization and getting out of here, you can count me right out of the whole thing. And once you have that attitude, and you need it, and if you don't have that attitude, you won't move an inch, not an inch forward. No, you won't. So once you have that attitude, then you have to see, okay, what are my strengths here? How can I serve God? How, and what is everyone's predicament here? What's the nub of their predicament here? And how can I turn that around for God? I mean, when was Jesus Christ upset? Like once, really. Like once in the Bible, once. At the money lenders, at the bankers, okay. That's simple. I call His name, destroyed the banking system, and which has of course become obvious that it's this satanic system. These are all Satanists here. They're like vampires, really. You think of it, they're half the population. Okay, they work as one. They are, as much as you want God realization and to be one with God, to be one, and your thoughts are not separate from God's, and you have no fear. You hit the bliss of God and the knowledge of God and the power of God. You want all that, right? And until you get all the way, you don't have it. You don't have it. You have fear, right? Now, how do you get out of this? Because it seems like we are trained from birth to be fearful of the powers that be here. We're trained that way. We're trained to lie. Everything in school they told us about the physical reality and history and everything is a total lie. Absolutely a total lie. And the people teaching are so stupid they don't even know it's a total lie. Some of them. But they're controlled. See, half the population here, they don't work or anything like that. They work as managers, just like slave managers, like they all, have a purpose in that. They're Satan realized. See, if you're one, there are two teams. Let me just put it this way. There's humanity and there's humans, right? And the humanity, they have it in them, Satan. So this is in their lifetime. Oh, no. It's not happening. It's not happening, okay? They're cowards. Just as difficult as our position is, their position is way more difficult because they are retarded. All of them. And I mean every single one of them, every one of them. Not like the humans. They are all weak. Totally weak. That's why they're in that position because, and they are so weak. They are so weak that God is this merciful. I know this. That if one of them wanted to switch to Jesus Christ and bend their knee and say, okay, I made an error, he would accept them and be merciful because uh, they are different than the humans. You see, the humans, they're not. Here's the main sort of difference between humans and humanity. Here's the main difference. Humanity remembers all their lifetimes that they've had. I'm serious. They remember them. They do. That's why Mayor Baba said you don't want to remember your past lifetimes. Why? Because you'd be one of them. That's why you don't want to remember it. Do you see? See, because they all remember. They keep the same position every time if there's if they sing songs, they're singing the same stupid songs from last time. You know, every lifetime. Because if you speak to one of them, I reach out to the other team and say, look, we've spoken many times with Satan and you individuals, Satan realized. I'd like to start a new series, Interview with a Vampire, okay? Like, let's get this on video. Like, let's just bring it out, you know? Don't just speak to me and who's around me. Why don't you just, let's do it on video. You're confident, right? Y'all are confident. I hear it, you're confident. So let's do that. Because you're so confident, what? You know, let other people hear about you. You know, why hide in the shadow? So, anyway, humanity has this power of remembering everything. So they have this deep knowledge, but they have this, also knowledge that they have to keep coming back here. You know, it's when I was like, last time I talked to Satan, really, I don't know, 10 days ago, something like that. How are things? How are things? You know, remembering everything from the beginning of time. How is that? Answer from Satan: boring and horrible. Boring and horrible. I'm like, well, why do you keep doing it? I have to kill my brother. Oh, that's not creepy. I have to kill my brother. Jesus must die. Every time. That's the game. Got to kill, and it's really, I have to kill the truth. And those with God I have to share the truth. Those are the differences. I have to hide the truth. I have to share the truth. Those are the differences in the two teams. And, the humanity is given this extra ability, good or ill, it just it exists, that they remember all their lifetimes. So, even the least among them has this deep knowledge of everything that's going on around you. You don't know anything compared to the, what you think is just a lowly member of the other team or whatever. They know a lot more than you. That's probably why they're in such a horrible shape, and most of them are, because they're given a stipend, if you want to call it, or whatever. They're all given money, a certain amount of money, to keep doing what they do, and they're feeding off of you and my energy, well, not mine anymore, but, other people's energy and their work and their, making food and everything, and they're just living the life. They just get like this stipend paid into their bank account as long as they just keep doing what you're doing forever. They get money for doing it. Like, that's how they control them. They're like, well, I wouldn't get my money, I wouldn't be able to eat, I wouldn't be able to, They are ruled by fear. So, I'm trying to point out some of the differences here, because this is what you're up against. This is half the population of humanity, okay? I mean, of people that are here. Half of them are humanity, half of them are humans. And really almost no one can differentiate uh, that they're human and the other ones are humanity. The humans don't know. They can't tell. That's why I'm trying to share this with you. They cannot tell. You see, but the humanity, they all can tell. They all know. Signs and symbols, they all wear, all this stuff. Tattoos. They make themselves easy to spot for one another. But they all know who they are, okay? And they all know who the cattle are, the slaves are. They know each other. They are in the same position every time. Excuse me. They're not physically going far. They're not, God shakes the world and this mud flood reset thing happens, but whoever's left, they just get right back in their stupid positions and stupid bodies. They have to come back to hell and perform these actions because God forces them to. And they're forced to have this fear and to live this life in order to show the truth. See, there has to be, we're in duality, right? Up, down, off, on, there, here, you, me. We're in duality. There has to be lie for there to be the truth. So there has to be an equal amount of lie to the equal amount of the truth. There has to be. There has to be. That's the game that God made. Okay, that's the game. And there's 7,000 people in this hierarchy. 7,000 people. So out of 330 million on one side, 330 million on the other. Population numbers are a hoax. That's the real numbers. So that's not many slots. Those 330 million on the humanity, they don't want a single one of them. So that helps. That cuts out 50% of your competition right there. That's helpful. However, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do to achieve this goal? What are you willing to do? If the answer wasn't everything, and I mean everything, including your life, you have no shot. You don't have a chance. You don't have any chance whatsoever. Okay, because there are only a few slots. And only the most absolutely disgusted people with this reality get a slot. They're just like, no thank you. I don't want the dumb anymore. No. Give me God or give me death. That's like just stepping over the line on the path. Now, how are you going to do that? If you have stepped over the line just to that first inch of give me death or give me God, you're never going to make the rest of the million miles down that path, not in this lifetime. You're going to forget. You're going to go into another body. You got to restart. Tick tock, tick tock. Do you know the day you're going to die? Do you? Yeah, this is a competition against this time thing, too. You see, you got to get it done. God has to know your name. You have to perform the actions. You have to get to it. Okay? You can't just be thinking about it. I was thinking about going for God and acting for God. I really watched all his videos and whatnot. I did watch the videos. That doesn't count. I'm sorry. I wish it counted, but it doesn't count. I didn't make the game, okay? I just became the most disgusted individual with the stupid game. Like, let me win this stupid game because I don't want to play this stupid game anymore. Okay? It's also a stupid fucking game. I don't like it, okay? People say, well, why do you have this bad attitude? Who likes to be in the prison of hell, go through all the different parts of hell, every single level, and finally get to the exit? Now I'm standing here, I'm helping y'all out. I did go out, and now I'm back in, and I have just a short time, right, before I drop this body and won't be back. So I am here at the exit door. And you're like, oh, I don't really like his attitude of God's bouncer. I don't think I like him. There are 4 other perfect masters around. Go find one of them. See if you like their attitude better. They should be easy to find, right? They're all out there on YouTube saying who they are and stuff. don't like my attitude. Yo, you created my attitude. I gotta live with you all. You're not doing what God said to do. How am I gonna have an attitude like, oh, that's great, I like you? Why? Why would it be like, you know, why? Why do I want to be around that? Somebody's next to me with a Bible in his hand, and he's calling the name not of Jesus Christ, but of, Yeshua and Jehovah. I'm like, dude, don't be, you don't come out here and start calling the name of those gods like that's the God of the Bible. It's Jesus Christ or nothing. I mean, every day, all you humanity. Finally, I'm getting some respect up here. Yeah, you nod your head, or else you're gonna get a mouthful. That's right. So, you know, there's no reason to really respect all these liars. You know what I mean? Like, I have disdain for their chosen actions. They could choose better. They know better. They just don't make the choice. Well, you're choosing to be evil in my face and I'm watching it. And you expect I'm going to be like, oh, hey, man, it's cool. I'm not that guy. I'm absolutely not that guy. Like, you know, you're doing evil things to especially young people who are most impressionable, who don't have any of this information at all. I mean, you know, my I see this so often that I actually have to form the question, is it more evil some guy rapes a girl or some guy tells some girl everything that young lady needs to hear, gets them pregnant, and just, you know, runs off? One's in knowledge, one is whatever in you know, the point is they're both evil, pure evil. They're both evil. And if I'm watching it happen like all the time and stuff, you don't think I'm gonna open my mouth up, please. And that's just one example. The banking, on and on we could go with the different things. And you think I'm gonna be like, oh hey, hell is cool. No. Nothing you have here. I don't want anything. You see? I've lost my desire for everything you have here. It really just being here and watching you what makes me nauseous. Like I want to vomit when I watch your actions because I know you know, and that you're still up to the same stuff. Okay, once you see through this veil, this thin liar veil they've created, all news is fake news. If it's mainstream media, it's fake news. I had some photographer, in the drum circle last night. He's got his tripod set up and everything. Like, where people are praying and children are playing in the middle of the circle. He said, I'm like, dude, people don't film in here, okay? It's not, you're in the way. You're becoming a part of the scene and you're in the way and you're interrupting this spiritual warfare that's happening in here, okay? He looks at me. They don't say nothing the first few times. I have to get up on him, and he says, oh, I'm with Siesta Key, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you're mainstream media. You liar. You sold your soul. Fake news. Get out of here. Like, you're in the spiritual war, and you're obvious, pure egomaniac, voyeur, with your stupid $1 million equipment taking video of young women up close in the middle of the circle. You so creepy. I didn't even notice you're this creepy. You just like, get out of the way, everyone. I have some creepy filming to do. Oh no, I got a creepy film pass from mainstream media. I'm professional creepy. What? Oh, you're gonna get my good attitude then. Well, why? Why would you think that? What would make you think you're not going to get an earful until you get your ass out of that drum circle? Like, for real. More and more and more people listening about you. Now, it's spiritual war. But that's just the crucible, okay? I show up there for Darshan. I show up to show how to treat, with disdain, these liars. That's what's needed. You know, don't give them power over you. Don't give fear. Are you kidding me? You make me want to vomit. How would I fear you? Any of you, with the guns or without the guns, you're just pathetic. I'd rather you pull that gun, put it to my head, blow my fucking brains out, than be here. But you can't do it. So I'm here to serve the people, that need to know the truth. Does that make me not happy? Oh, I'm happy serving God. Don't get me wrong. I, you know, I'm the one that chose to be the gladiator and go to the death in God's honor in the courtrooms and all these other ways. I love it because God knows my name and has raised me up to know the truth and help you. There's nothing else that one can want here. Okay, so I'm trying to share the truth and you don't like my attitude. I hear that from people coming to my work initially. And if you know the truth, you would have the same attitude because you'd be interacting with these, with the truth of reality. Okay? And if you did that, then you would understand how much evil they're concocting and doing and living as a hive of one against you. And your loved ones are doing it against you to keep you trapped in hell as a slave. And they're doing it knowingly. How can how can you have a good attitude about that? If someone wants to get out of that, yo, you're on my team, you're on God's team, we're on the same team, right? Uh, Fantastic. Great. I don't have a bad attitude for you. Not any day. I'm I know what it took to even cross the line to make it this far to the truth. Let alone the rest of the million steps, but just to cross that line to the truth and not accept these lies. I mean, I know what that took. So yeah, my attitude's like, man, give me your hand, dude. Let's continue down here. Keep kicking their ass until you get all the way home to God. There's nothing else worth it. Anything really here. Yeah, you help people on the way. Sure. Bring as many who want to come, still behind you. Like, yo, you want to come? Come on. Here's the truth. You got to do that. And what's gonna happen when you do that? I wish you had a better attitude. I'm trying to tell you the truth. It's so simple, and you're over there like, I'm too afraid. Okay, we're not the body. We're riding in a body. We're not feelings. We're not feelings. We have feelings. We're not thoughts. We have thoughts, right? Thoughts and feelings come, but we are the one experiencing them. Well, you see, we can choose to experience this thought or this feeling and keep hold of it, or we can just let it pass through. And we can just be like, oh, I'm gonna live in the truth instead of those thoughts, feelings, or whatever. Whatever comes, I'm gonna be the one that's just gonna stay with the truth. And sometimes, if you're trying to tell me a lie or live a lie and drag me and others around me into that lie, I cannot support that. I will not. Like, that's what I'm here to stop from happening. That's why God left me. That's why He chose me with this attitude. Okay? Because I won't have it. I won't have it around. I'd rather be dead every second of the day. It'll never leave me. Why would I want to be here? I've been with Him, you see? And so, you can't have another desire except for to return to God once you've done it. Another one can't be present. It's not possible. Everything else is a complete and total joke by comparison. So, all I'm trying to say is, don't have fear. God really cares enough about everyone here, including humanity, that if you just bent the knee, any one of humanity, He would take you on. The rest of you humans, you gotta work for it. Against humanity. That's just the game. I didn't make the game. I'm just trying to help fill you in, okay? If I give you this information, then they don't have the power over you. See, I don't want them to have the power over you. You're my brothers and sisters. I don't want you trapped here. Like, come to God, and it is a competition. So God has to know your name. So do it with some style. Oh, I could do this, but I could also one up it and do this. You see what I'm saying? That's the type of attitude, like, I was like, oh, I gave you a problem, but you're going to make it bigger. And then you're going to call my name. Then the guy's like, oh, I like your style. You see? I like your style. You're not going to just do it for you, your problem. You're going to, keep a log of all the paperwork, all the information, your problem, and you're going to beat them because you're with Jesus Christ. So you might as well keep all the information, document it well, so you can share it as a testimonial to others. Hey, look, I won too. Jesus Christ is real. These 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 creatures in charge of government, blah blah, they're powerless. That's why they carry all them guns to look powerful. They're not, however. You see? They're easy to beat in the end, and that's what I'm trying to show you. Here I sit, not in jail, every day, dispensing information that makes them powerless against you and your loved ones. And here I sit. You see here, another video. Why do I make so many videos? Just to let you know, everything's fine on my end. Okay, you should get that way on your end. All right. Maybe I went on a little long on this one, but I really, I'm trying to share some of the nuts and bolts of this thing, just so you can easily make the switch. Okay. All right. God bless you and keep you safe and happy. Praise Jesus Christ.